welcome to Zimlink. We are at the Zimbabwe Embassy tonight. We've got a gentleman in our midst. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Lekan olujinmi.
Leko. Please, can you tell us who you're representing today and what you do?
Well, today I'm representing Zimbabwe as a honorable, what can I call myself? A Zimbabwe in the diaspora, but I'm from Nigeria. I tend to work with a lot of the African embassies, trying to allow them to use our vast network. We have some of the biggest databases in Europe outside of Africa. We also tap into Africa. And I say that by way of profiling and marketing what each of the African countries have to offer visitors, tourists, and investors alike.
From your perspective, Zimbabwe, what are we? What do we represent for Africa?
I think I have to just try to imitate the ambassador and Felicia. Wow.
Yes.
You know, if you do enough reading, you get to know that Zimbabwe statistically has got to be one of the richest countries in the world, mineral-wise. And then you can understand why they are going through a lot of what they're going through by the West. It's almost like if you don't bow to our terms and conditions, guess what? We'll put you on the propaganda line and give you some of what we give others. I say that not to be too political, but if you look at what the man is doing in Zimbabwe, His Excellency is doing great things. And I say that not to be pro or against. Common sense, you know.
And with the arts, I can tell you're artistic in some sense.
I like when people say that because my side is more the production, behind the scenes. I tend to produce what I can produce by way of theatre productions. The current production that I presented to you earlier on is a production called The Diary of Black Men. How do you love a black woman? This year makes it 25 years that I'm the only human being, that's black, white, Pokemon, to ever bring it out of America. Okay. Last year, I was able for the first time ever to have African actors in the production. An African dancer and two African gentlemen took part for the first time ever.
Very impressive. Could you just give us a brief description of the production and just tell us where it's showing, if there's anywhere where it's showing?
At the moment, it's actually showing in Houston, Texas, where the playwright is resided. I'm hoping to bring some good news to the table in days or weeks. I'm negotiating with some African countries to see if we can bring it to the continent for the first time. It's a serious production. It does deal with some of the issues the people of majestic color deal with living in the West. That's why it's tested. I mean, it's stood the test of time. I've only been with it for 25 years. It's been going for 30-something years. And I'm just honored that, I've done the little I can do for it over the years. This is part of the reason I'm doing what I'm doing with a lot of the African embassies, trying to give them a similar platform to sing, from the highest mountains if possible.
All right. And finally, for the youth, what would you advise us, especially the youth in the diaspora, about maintaining our heritage and believing in what we want and following our dreams?
See, the question is not as simple as it just sounded. I'm a father and I'm a grandfather, so I can safely say that it's our responsibility as parents to literally put ourselves and our wisdom to the test with our children. The youth, we do what we call workshops when we do things with what we call carnival, sustainability. In other words, I work alongside some of the characters with the Notting Hill Carnival. I have associates with carnival in some African countries. I've also been spearheaded to assist with Zimbabwe International Carnival. Sustainability, that's a very, very delicate word to use, but what we try to do is make sure each country, let's take Zimbabwe, maintains their heritage by any means possible when they do a carnival or festivals. Don't try and be too westernized. Let your traditions flow through. Let us have workshops with you, culture exchanges. That's what we are offering, to try and bring some of the expertise to them. But have the workshops where they learn to do the costume makings on ground. Drums, we don't need to be taught to make drums. So that could be something that we offer the steel bands when they come. So is that culture exchange program that we really want to start flying? Africa has a lot to offer. Just needs to be tweaked and refined in certain areas.
So we've run out of time, but thank you very much for your time, Lego, and hopefully you get a chance to go on our website, www.zimlink.org. Thank
I
you.
look forward to it. Thank you.
Motherland, raised on the African soil. Hold up.